What up? What up? Thank you guys for joining in today. I am BK back with another banger. Today we getting into game staging in the MPC software, MPC standalone. I was doing a live the other day and someone mentioned, or I had mentioned, I hope everyone in the live is game staging. That conversation, so I was having a conversation with the people that was in the live, and I told them, hey, make sure you're game staging. And by the way, I have a video that shows how to game stage. I can't find the video on my channel, so I know you guys are probably having difficulties finding the video. If you type in game stage on my in the search on my main home channel, it takes you to game staging in Studio One. It's the same premise, but I can't find the one for the MPC. I may have titled it something else. It may be something with MPC mixing. If you type in MPC mixing, I have a bunch of videos that'll pop up, but it might be this insert effect right here. It might be that one, but I have so many of them that I'm not certain what I named it. But this one will be titled something to do with MPC game staging, so it'll be easily found. If you have to come back to it, it'll be found. I went through that just to explain to you all. You could use the search field right here on the home channel to find any video that you need on my channel, and it works on everyone else's platform as well that's in YouTube. All right, so let's get on over into the MPC. All right, so we over here in the MPC, and I got a beat that's loaded, ready to be mixed, ready to be game staged. But before we get into that part, I just want to explain what game staging actually is for those of us that may not know what game staging is. Game staging is exactly what it says, game stage. You want to level your sounds, right? So for instance, with this track, I have 15 tracks, right? Each sound, each track has the level, the meter. I haven't done any mixing on it, so everything is at 0, right? Take for instance that you're cooking pasta and, you know, tomato sauce, or, you know, ground turkey, ground beef, whatever you're cooking. When you're in the kitchen and you're putting that all together, is different stages that you're doing, right? You have the tomato sauce, you have the pasta, you got to boil the water. It's different stages, and each one you're adding. As you add, the volume increases, right? As you add the heat, you turn up the heat on the water, the pot that's boiling for your pasta, the volume increases, like the bubble rises. I hope I'm not losing you. Stay with me. I know you're probably like, yo, how you getting into food? Because it's similar. You know, when you don't add the whole bottle of salt to your pasta sauce, right? You take a teaspoon, you stir it in, you taste it. If it needs more salt, you add more salt. If it needs more pepper, you add more pepper, right? All right, so that's what game staging is. So you start out hot. Right, so you start out with your sounds hot. Like, I didn't touch this at all. I just made the beat. I made it late last night, and I didn't get into any mixing. And generally, when I'm making my beats, I start off, I'm just creating. I'm not generally mixing. Sometimes I mix as I go, or game stage as I go. But sometimes I just be in the mood. I need to hear the volume to feel a vibe. And that's how I do it. And then I get to a part where it's time to mix or game stage, right? So this is the the sample. I'm gonna go to the channel mixer, right? You're in the channel mixer. You solo out your sample. Now, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just want to get it at a level where it's not clipping. Inside of the MPC software, we don't have a gain tool, right? Or a tool to put as an insert effect to control the levels, right? So you control your levels here in your channel mixer. You can control your levels as the pads inside of your master, inside of program edit, or you could go to pad mixer and you can, pull your faders down here. When you have plugins, you're gonna either use the level inside of a plugin to gain stage, or you're gonna come into channel mixer, right? For drums is different. We'll get into the drums just now, but you want to make sure that you're not clipping, right? You don't want to see any red in your master output. Your output 1 and 2, no red. Now you pull it down to where it's almost inaudible, that you could barely hear it, and then you pull it up. Right? Now I'm gonna add in the Cartier flutes. Now I'm gonna add in the piano. Now I'm gonna add in the pads. Now that you got that, you might say, I can't really hear the pads. So you pull up the pads a little bit more. You off center it, send it to the right. I might pull the flutes to the left. I might bring up the sample a little bit more. All right, so that sounds smooth. So now I'll bring in the drums, right? So with the drums, you want to go into pad mixer, right? They call it pad mixer because it's actually the pads, right? So I don't have any insert effects on any of these drums. I'm just doing the raw mix, right? So As you can see, with just the kick drum alone, my output 1 and 2, my master, is clipping. So as you can see, as I added more additional sounds, it started to clip in the red digitally with the outputs 1 and 2. So now that I've gain staged the drums, right, I still might get a little bit of clipping, but because I have the drums controlled or volume sitting at a comfortable area, I could go back into channel mixer, and if I need to, I could pull down the drums. So now I'm gonna add the 808. And that's what gain staging is. You know, you get your levels at a decent level for if you're gonna send this out to get mixed or mastered by a mix master engineer. If you don't do it yourself, or if you're gonna bring it into a DAW such as Studio One or Pro Tools, Logic, you have the levels decent, so when you use the tools in the other DAW, it's easier to handle. Also, gain staging is significant for plugins. Certain plugins are designed that the sounds, when it enters that plugin, it needs to be at a certain level so that the plugin works the right way. Such as limiters, you know, like Ozone, you know, L2s from Waves, any of those kind of plugins, you need to it needs to be set at a certain way for it to actually work correctly, even if you're using the presets in those plugins, right? So we have this. So I have the Air Para EQ, which is parametric EQ, as the first insert on my master output 1 and 2. A parametric EQ is basically, I usually use the Fab Filter Pro EQ, or in Studio One I use the Pro EQ that comes stock. This is similar. The GUI on the computer is not as sexy as what it looks like on the actual MPC units, but it's the same. I don't have an additional camera to show you the MPC, but if you have the MPC, you know what it look like. Don't be afraid to use presets. Like I use presets. I start out with presets, then I tweak the presets. Right now it's on initial. Now you could go to master, right? A lot of these are the same names. See though, it's still clipping. So I added the air channel strip. And I have it on the control setting. And I'm going to pull down this output level just a tad. And the reason why I pulled the output level on the channel strip is because the next thing that I'm going to add is the air maximizer, which is it's like the L2. It's a limiter. Right now it's on the initial settings. Like that, you know, you got your joint. It's knocking how it's knocking, it's grooving how it's grooving. and in little or no time, you got something. I won't say it's radio ready, but you could bounce this and sell it to a rapper to rap to it. You know, you organize it into song structure, and it's pretty much good to go from there. And that's using all stock plugins. There's nothing on here is besides this mixing key is a third party. Everything here is all you have it. If you have the MPC software, you have these insert effects, and it all began with gain staging. All right, so I'm gonna turn off the master. I need to use this ear maximizer a little bit more because it's kind of beefy. I don't use it. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I don't use these at all, really. I play with it sometimes here and there. I use it when I'm in standalone mode, but generally when I'm in standalone mode, when it get to the point to mixing, I pause it and I bring it into controller mode, or I transfer it into Studio One and mix for real in there. It's not that you can't mix inside of the MPC software. It's just things like automation. If I wanted to automate a setting on this maximizer or on the channel strip, because it's on the master. Oh, that's the other thing. If you're gonna send this out to be mastered by a engineer or someone to mix or master, don't put this on the outputs, right? You'd want to put this on your submix, right? So I'm gonna copy these over to Submix One. I'm gonna turn it off here, and I'm gonna send everything, all my channels. I'm gonna send it all to Submix One. Now that frees up. Oh, I'm bugging. Now that frees up the master output, right? And if you're using your submixes as you should, you might want to put this on Submix 8 as the last one. So all your first ones, you could, use them as your insert effects or whatever. The options vary, but it's the same thing. That is pretty much it, y'all. Any comments or concerns, post it up in the comment section. I'll be sure to get back to you at my most earliest convenience. But if you haven't already been gain staging, it's a tedious process. It might seem intimidating to do, But, you know, over time, if you're doing it, you'll get the hang of it. And once you got the hang of it, it's like riding a bike, right? Once you got it, you got it. Once you get it, you got it. And, you know, a lot of us, we gain staging unknowingly that that's what we're doing, because you'd be mixing as you go. And as you mix and level your sounds as you go, that is a form of gain staging. That is gain staging. Some people wait to the last thing to do, such as what I did here. I waited till I was, you know, I thought I was finished with the beat to mix it. And now I can hear other things, right? Because it's gain staged enough. So if I want to add another sound, there's room. But I have a lot of sounds here, so right now it's for me to put it in a proper song format and drop out, you know, the sounds here and there, and then, you know, take it to the next level. All right, but that's pretty much it, y'all. Do remember that music is life. It is our DNA. Keep banging. Peace, love, and light. Till next time. All these sounds right here, besides the sample, came from Banging 808s. The 808 came from there, Banging 808s, and the piano, the pad, and the flute came from MPC One Shots and Key Groups, which is readily available for download at bkbangatv.com. Also, Banging Progressions, the chords that I use came from Banging Progressions Volume 1. Banging Progressions borrowed chords is still free $99 on the website. So if you you know, not ready to spend with your boy, you could grab that for free. All right, love and light till next time. And thank you guys for all of you that made purchases. I do appreciate y'all. And for the ones to follow, thank you. Love and light. Enjoy your day.